Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Beauty on a Budget. My name is Heather and today is Tuesday, May 27th of 2025. I guess this would be part 2 of decluttering my basement. I kind of already finished earlier today. I took my husband to work and then I came home and I'm just kind of decided I've got all this stuff here I gotta kind of go through, but I decided to go through each of these drawers one by one. So these 3 drawers I already did. I just dumped them out and separated them into a couple piles here. Stuff kind of got dumped on top of it. Then I took out this drawer here and it's just full of random stuff. So I just dumped it out right here on the floor. And I'm just going through and I'm deciding if it's stuff that I'm going to use for keeping for crafts or if it is just going to be, for donations or if it's garbage. And I decided I'm not keeping feathers or pom-poms. I don't need them. If I ever did do a craft where I need them, I can always easily get, they're really easy to get, pom-poms and feathers. So I'm just going to get rid of them all. I do have bits of ribbon and string and stuff, so I do have that container that I had over there that I was putting, pieces of ribbon in, so I can go through all that at a later date. But I got paper flowers, so I'm keeping those. Binder clips, I'm keeping those. But most of this stuff so far, that's hemming tape, so I'll keep that. But most of this stuff so far is just donations. Oops, that's a brand new pack of the highlighters, so that's important. I don't know where to put, I guess I'll just leave it here. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on, and then I'm trying to find, where all this stuff is going to go, and just trying to figure out what it is. Like, I've got these things here, a couple different sets. One is strawberries and one is sandals, so that is for the outdoor table, the little picnic table, so it weighs the corners down, so those I definitely have to keep. But a lot of this stuff, it's just little bits of things that I just don't need anymore. This is a magnet, so I'll probably keep that. Oh, I've got some nice beads here that I've never used. Bought it to make something. I never used it yet, but those I will keep. But it's the loose stuff that I just want to get rid of and deal with. And if it's garbage, I'm throwing it behind me. So this is what I'm working on, and so I'm just gonna continue doing this. See, bowl of thread. Yeah, some of the stuff, it's like I have no idea. That is like, oh, that's for a bike. So I think that looks like it's for one of the tires of a bike or something. I'll keep that for now. Just that was garbage. These little things from Floral Picks. I'm not going to need them. I'm going to just throw them out. Some magnet here. I don't know if I'm going to keep the magnets or whatever, but for now I'm just putting them in a pile as to keep. See, this is for jewelry making. I might as well just keep that one for now. Like I said, I'm just going through each little item one at a time. And it's hard to do when you just decide to just dump a box out, but that's what I'm doing. So I'm just going to continue to go through this pile of stuff. So this is from 4 drawers that I'm working on at the moment. So I'll be back as I get all this dealt with once and for all. So like I said, I took these 3 drawers out. I'm using them to kind of hold things. So I got this one here. It's full of personal papers. And then I've got this one here, I'm putting ribbon, and that one I'm putting napkins. So I got this drawer, this tower here. I think every one of these drawers is empty now. It needs a good clean before I start putting everything back. So these clear ones are all empty. This one up here, I've got skewers and popsicle sticks, only because I think that's just, especially all the loose ones, if they just stay in the drawer, I'm not going to, get on anything or all over. That drawer's empty, that one's empty, and in this bottom drawer, I have pipe cleaners. Oh, some stuff is falling. Okay. So this is just the pile of just random little bits of things. And then this big pile over here is like a scrapbooking, paper crafts. And I got a pile of like sequence type things, paper straws, wooden letters, big pile of stickers, and then all my different stencils. I'm going to go through, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not keeping these big stencils. I don't need them. Same with this stack here of all these stencils. I'm not keeping them. So I'm going to go through and figure out what I will keep and not keep. And then this is just some more, this is just, you know, card making, and that's those wall clingers and stickers, and then just some other wood and metal signs, some just other wall stickers, and this is jewelry making kit. So those, like I said, so I cleared all these out, so that's 8, 12, and 14 drawers I have gone through and emptied. And so far, I have this box of donation craft supply, so it's all really good stuff. And this other box here, I'm putting in foam sheets and construction paper. So yeah, I'm just going to continue working on down here, because I'm just going to go through every drawer, and I'm just going through, and I'm getting rid of everything. I mean, my stickers I'm going to keep, but I'm going to go through like all my paper craft items and just have to really totally decide what I know I'm going to use or not use. So next I'm going to work on this the tall one. I think it's 7 drawers or 6. Okay, it is 6. Hard to tell. I've had so many of these different storage units over the years. I always forget how many drawers each one has. And then when I get that one done, then I can start doing it more like micro organizing, and I can start putting all the little things together into one drawer. So I'll probably be tomorrow. So I will be back tomorrow morning to finish this. It's about 7:30 in the morning, Wednesday morning. So I'm just going to continue clearing these things out. This is kind of where I ended last night. So I'm choking on my coffee. So just want to finish getting through this stuff here. And I mean, I am just going to go through everything. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm keeping, what I'm going to get rid of. I'm just going to do like, wasn't going to get to that point where I'm kind of like I'm a micro organizer kind of a person. I like items in the same little containers. So I wasn't going to do that, but my husband said he needs the basement for his stuff. So looks like I have to really scale back on my craft supplies, because I can only keep what's going to fit upstairs in that bedroom. So I'm just looking at that other bookshelf over here. I'm just kind of glancing at what's on each shelf. The bottom shelf has a few candles. The next shelf has some spray paint. Then there's some games. And then there's, well, those are board games and puzzles. And then the top shelf is more just like, that's all PlayStation 2 games up there. And then the way top is just all that extra stuff up there. So I guess I'm going to be taking all these little cabinet drawers, the small little ones, upstairs, and yeah, just trying to figure out where all this stuff is now going to go. And I'm slowly just working my way around everything. I'm just going to look at this and say, I'm not dealing with this pile of stuff today. I just want to get everything, all my crafting stuff that's over here, upstairs now. So I'll be back as I get more of this stuff, gone through and sorted and organized. Well, it's almost 6 o'clock tonight, Wednesday. Yeah, so I've been working really hard down here. I'm actually putting things in these drawers. I actually took each drawer out, dumped everything out, and sorted. I'm just putting everything back in the drawers. It's a long, slow process, but it's just so worth it. I figure, I could do it later. I've got all this stuff here to excuse me, got all this stuff to deal with, but I don't know where to put it. And it's like, if I start dumping out some of these bins, like craft supplies, like this box here, You can see it's just, well, it's a lot of paper stuff. I don't know where to put the paper stuff. Or like this other tub here. This one, if I dump this out, it's just an assortment of all the craft supplies I found in those first several tubs I dumped out. Now I can take that, and each item will now have, should have its own place to go. So yeah, just kind of working down here all day. I don't really feel like I've done anything because it looks the exact same to me, because I can still see all the stuff I didn't touch. But when I look at all the drawers and how empty they are, and I'll just show, I have all these containers up here, or opened with, you know, little things sitting inside them, just sorting things out as well. You know, paper flowers, floral picks, you know, just electronic little bits and things, all my little acrylic paints, and then just some other stuff, but each of these drawers. So this drawer here is mostly just this confetti table spread stuff, or glitter, or the sequins, and these little gemstones. Just, they're all, you know, in this top drawer here. Then this one, I was putting the bling wraps in here, and I got a couple other, you know, rope, what is this? It's a craft cord rope stuff, some other fancy ribbon, just sticking them where I can, where they kind of go with. And then this is just all the wood plaques and stuff. These are the Merry Christmas wooden signs. And then down here is just more other things. Like I've got the wooden and the metal words, and then also have under here, hard to see, but it is, just lift this up, those a whole bunch of these ones here with the words on them, and some other little craft things. But yeah, you can see those wall art, that's what they're called. I got a whole stack of those, and just some other little craft things that just kind of work together to be in this drawer. And then this one here, oops, if I just take out, I just set those there. But this is my emery floss and any of my other cords and stuff for jewelry making. I stuck these, what are they called? I know what they're called. It's gonna bug me. But yeah, these things, patterns, that's what they were. Can't think of the word patterns. So I just stuck the patterns there just because I need them out of the way. Same with this bag of zippers. I just stuck it in on top of here just to get it out of the way. The next drawer is just all thread. A lot of it is like brand new, but just all the thread is now in one box for one thing. This is an interesting one. I can probably sort this into multiple smaller groupings, but today I just threw it all in here. So this is all just random sewing stuff. So there is zippers, buttons, rickrack, needles, crocheting hooks, you know, sewing machine oil, like, you know, these electric scissors, everything like that. So all the stuff that you need for sewing, all those little odds and ends, I just put them in there. Like I said, that is one of those ones that, you know, if I really wanted to, I would separate, you know, buttons in one spot, you know, other fasteners in another category, all the little sewing scissors, you know, seam rippers, things like that can actually go all in their own little category, but I'm not doing that today. Today is just trying to get everything, instead of being in boxes like that, to have every item in its own little drawer. So that's as good as this one's going to be for right now. And like I said, up here, I just have craft sticks and little bamboo skewers. The next one, I just have the pipe cleaners. This one here is just paper craft things. So I've got cards at the top and, you know, other, you know, stuff like cutouts out of magazines and things like that. So again, if I was really going to do this, this is probably like 3 or 4 different types of paper crafts. But again, just putting it all into the one container for now is just going to really simplify everything. Same with this. This drawer here is just stickers. Now that I've got different types of stickers. Some of these might not even be stickers. Some of these are like these wood things. They're not, or these cardboard, not wood. The cardboard, they're not really stickers, but they look like stickers. I've got iron-on transfers, rub-on tattoos, things like that, but they're all kind of classified as a sticker type product. I'm just putting them in this drawer. This one here is just the napkins that I found so far. I know I've got so much more napkins than this, but that's just putting the napkins there. And then this one here is stencils. I'm using this long drawer for stencils because I've got these extra long sheet stencils. Like this is a small one, but I have lots of stencils that are really long or really wide. And then under the stencils, I do have, I don't know what these are called, these plastic grid. I forget what they're called. This little plastic canvas stuff for doing my other stuff. Yarn, cross-stitching type things. Don't remember what these things are called, but those are just under the stencils just because they're that big. This bucket here is ribbon and some string, just because I found different strings and things and just kind of putting them in here and they're all falling out. So I will have to separate this. Like I said, I'm not doing like a huge big clear, I mean I'm doing a clear out, but I'm not gonna go and like sort out all the ribbon based on like what type of material is it, because this stuff here, like the bling wrap, I usually don't have with the ribbon. I usually keep the bling wrap with the my other deco mesh wraps that I had in those other drawers, but this roll here is just too big and doesn't fit in that drawer, so I just stuck it with this. And these are all these different types of strings, like baker's twine and other strings and other ribbon and things. And I'm like, just for now, just so I see how much I have, and then I can like go through and decide, you know, if I'm actually going to use it or not. Then this top drawer here, I have all my inks for my stamps, and then some of these things to help with doing your stamps. And I even found a bottle and my stuff, a stamp cleaner. I didn't know I had. I have it in this just because it was in a bag, and the bag was all kind of sticky, greasy, oily, I don't know. And I just didn't want this to, you know, get all over everything, so I just wrapped it in some plastic. And then this is these clear stamps and these type of stamps here. Now some of these I got at the dollar store, and I haven't seen them for I haven't seen them since I bought these, but they have different sayings on these as well. And this one's fun. This one just does the smiley face. Day Home Kids loved it when I just stick a smiley face on their hand just for no reason. And then below here is all my wooden stamps. So I've got like this one here is the Christmas or winter alphabet, and then just all my other wooden stamps. Chair out of my way. Next drawer, I just have wood pieces, like little wood slices, wood embellishments, all these different wood craft things. I just didn't know where to put them. Next one here is just all the foam stuff. I do have a few things that aren't foam, these just sitting here on top, just because I didn't know where to stick them, so I just stuck them on the top of there. And then this is just a couple blow up things, and then the stuff for the perler beads, which again, I have more perler beads in a different place, so when I find the other container, those will get moved into the other container. And then I had cleared this one out. So all that I have in this top one, I mean, I got a couple sanding blocks and some rulers, but mostly this is my wood soldering tools. Then the next drawer is, that's the watercolor paints, the watercolor pencils, and then My Good pencil crayons. And the next one is just different types of markers, but I've got them all into this one drawer here. And then this is these other type of markers. Some of these are chalk, some of these are for on glass, some of them are just regular markers. And then back here I've got all my colored pens. So I didn't have to do that one today, but I was getting rid of school supplies, and I just thought I'll just dump all that out and go through. And then I don't know, I haven't touched these boxes that are over here yet, so I don't really know what's in them. This box here is just all office supply stuff that I will, has to go in the stationary containers. Not sure where they are at the moment. Yeah, so I'm just going to continue doing this. I did kind of stick a few boxes just over here out of my sight so I don't see them, but that one is mostly just Christmas crafts, and I'm just going to find a small box with a lid and just put all the Christmas crafts in one box. This box here is all the cut ribbon and cut strings. I honestly don't know if I need to keep all of that, but it's all in one contained box, and I do occasionally just need a few pieces of something for a craft, and I love the fact that I don't have to go and cut pieces. I can usually find what I need in that little box. Yeah, so that's what I'm continuously working on. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is dump out this tote that I filled yesterday and get all this stuff put away. And then my husband was home today working outside, and then he came and he was, moving things around in this utility room here. And I told him that all these bags and boxes that are here and along here, I said, they were full. They are now empty. And he couldn't believe that, I have gotten rid of, don't walk into the wall, it hurts. Yeah, he was surprised to see how many empty bags and boxes. And then when he walks into here, he did ask me about this stuff, and I said, well, this is bedding, and probably half of it is donation or selling at my garage sale. So that will be dealt with, in a couple of days. These two boxes here, the trunks, I told him was my clothes. Partially true. Some of it is personal papers as well, but it's just a mix of my stuff that I just haven't dealt with. So, he can even come in and he can see, how cleared out this is. And he's like, where is everything? And I'm like, I have no idea. All those bins are empty. There's a stack there. You can see he took some cardboard boxes because he was working outside in the garage in the shed. So he was taking boxes too. And I'm like, I have no idea where anything went. And, I'm like, it surprised me how much stuff that, once you start clearing it down or paring it down, I guess, just what do I have? What do I really need? Like I said, I've got a lot of art supplies that I probably am not going to use, but I'm not going to just give it all away. So I'm going to save it and see if I do use it within the year, or I might, sell it next year at a garage sale, or maybe this year during garage sale. I don't know. I'm not quite there yet. And then, like I said, I got a stack of games and toys that I got to figure out. And then the bookshelves. And then I kind of went through those bookshelves. So I got 2 boxes of candles. So I'm going to find somewhere for those. And then this bookshelf here is practically empty. I've got candles, paint, games, and that shelf is empty. It does need to be fixed because one of the couple of shelves are missing their little pegs. So stuff is kind of put on the shelf. So you can't take anything off the shelf or everything's going to fall off. So I have to deal with that shelf slowly, which is why I'm not dealing with that one yet. And then this big blue one here is all just books. And then this other little shelf here, I don't know what's on it. It's just random stuff piled up. But yeah, I'm just going to continue. So I'm just looking. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe 12 boxes to finish going through. And I have finished my basement. I can't believe that. I'm almost finished. So by the end of this week, I should have this done by the end of this week. So I'm going to quit here tonight and I'll be back tomorrow morning. Hey, welcome back. It's about 8 o'clock. Thursday morning. So I've just dumped out this last clear bin, and I've just got everything kind of just spread out here on the floor. That's where I kind of dumped it out. I was just kind of spreading everything out into their own little categories so I can put everything away. So I got my little glue guns and glue sticks all in one little basket. And I've got a pile of, just various little things. Just putting every little item away. And then, yeah, that box is to go out to the curb. I think it's 5 glue guns I'm not keeping. I'm just going to let them go. They were just, most of them are from just the dollar store. There were 2 that I got in at garage sale, so they're old and I don't like them. Just want them gone. And then I've got another box over here, and I'm putting in construction paper and the felt craft paper stuff. I don't know. I've got different sizes of this felt, that, and I got the smaller sheets. This size, I'm not gonna need it. If I ever need a project with the felt, the foam, it's easy to pick up. I'm keeping my felt because the felt does cost more, and I actually use the felt more in my crafts. I also have these 4 rolls of Christmas gift wrap. I'm gonna let them all go. Same with, I got rid of all my those holiday gift bags. I kept all the tissue paper, but I got rid of all the gift bags themselves. So this is all just thing of tissue paper. I will go through this because I use the tissue paper for crafts as well, not just gifts. I guess there's a couple gift bags I did keep, a couple brand new ones that I just bought. Like they came in packs of 2 or 3. So I'm not getting rid of everything. Can't give away everything because I do need some things. Some of that gift wrap. I am keeping any unopened gift wrap, I am keeping, but all the open stuff I'm gonna let go. I don't have my day home. I don't need kids, don't need a lot of that type of stuff. So I'm just gonna keep, doing this. It's, taking me, actually taking me less time than I thought it would, but it's still taking a lot of time. And then, like I said, then when I start going through these bins, these boxes, they are just so small. And they're going to be fairly easy because I can see a lot of glass decor stuff that I'm not keeping. So I'll just be putting them back in the boxes out to the garage, ready for my garage sale. And want to have one in 2 weeks. So my goal is my first garage sale in 2 weeks. Maybe, 3 weeks for sure, but the end of June, by mid-June, end of June, depending on how, the dental stuff, how I'm feeling. But that is my plan for right now. And then just, like I said, that's my shoe rack. And this whole big pile here is just fabric, which anybody who knows anything about fabric, you just throw it in a ball and it just, don't really know. There's not really a lot of fabric there, but it's just throwing like that, and it just kind of piles over. Like I said, the same with those. There's pictures and decor stuff that needs to be hung up, and I will go through and decide if I like them in this house, if I can change some of the colors. Don't fit with this color scheme in this house, but nothing like spray paint can't fix. Or I might just, sell them. So I'll be back later today as I get this all through. And once I get to here, this one little bookshelf I'm taking upstairs. And all my books that are here, the craft ones, are all going upstairs. All my crafting and cookbooks will be going upstairs. I don't know. I don't really know, if they're all going to fit upstairs, but that is kind of where I want to move some of my crafting books. Yeah, and just kind of get this stuff, put away and more organized. So yeah, I'll be back as I get more of this stuff, gone through and put away. Okay, so every once in a while when I feel like I haven't accomplished anything, I just go upstairs for a little bit. So I was upstairs for about 15-20 minutes. And then I come down and I can just see how much more of an open space I have here. I mean, these bins were sitting, well, I guess it should be about there, because I used to have stuff coming to that point, and so I was able to just clear out whatever was up these the clear tote that was full of art supplies I went through. This is just personal papers and other things, and these other couple small boxes, again, it's just mostly home decor. That one little cardboard box is just a whole bunch of canning jars that I'm probably not going to keep. And the other ones are just full of like odd things. Like I know the blue one has ceramic clay pots in it. Again, I don't know if I'm going to keep them. Just depends on if I'm going to use them or not. Then the other ones are just small boxes. There's like nothing really in them. Just little things I was finding just sitting on top to get it out of my way. And then over here, I was able to move the shoe rack out of the way to here. And I can actually get to the bookshelves now, which early this morning I was standing about here. And I couldn't get past this, stuff piled up between me and this pile of stuff. Now I can take a step forward and I can just step over the pile of fabric and I can actually get to these shelves and start, clearing them off, which is what I'm going to do because I need the shelf space to put the games and puzzles on. But yeah, it's taking a long time, but I'm finally getting all this stuff organized and dealt with. Then I have this, I brought it down. So this was all my little crochet hooks. I do not crochet. I got all these little things. I tried it. My hands are just not steady and I cannot grasp anything this small anymore. So I decided to just take everything off of here. I'm going to do it the other way, but it's very loud. So I'm going to do a few of these larger ones. Just get these out. These metal hooks hitting the floor is very loud. Why I will not just dump it out. So I'm just saying all these little silver ones I am not keeping, but I'm not just going to give them away. I could, but I think I'll just put them in my yard sale and just whatever. I don't know. This one here is a plastic one. It's a good size. This is probably for making like scarves and toques. And it says it is a 15 millimeter. So I'm going to keep that one. And then of course my rug hooking ones I'm keeping. So all these silver ones can go, but I do have these 4 pink ones and I like the color. So I'm going to keep these ones. And all of these other ones can go. I know some of these are plastic, but I don't know. Oh, they just say the size. Okay. It says 7. Let's see. That says 8. This one says 6. Maybe I'll keep these ones. This one also says 6. Maybe I'll keep these fatter ones and get rid of all these skinny gray ones. I also went and got the other stuff out from the drawer that I put away yesterday. So I have a couple more of these rug hooking tools. Now I thought I had one that was broken, but all these seem to be fine. So maybe I threw out the broken one, or maybe I just haven't come across it. These ones here were just loose in boxes, so I want to keep them just because I know they're old. Like this one here, it has this angle on it. I don't know if it was meant that way. It feels like it was meant for, I don't know. I don't know anything about these tools. And then these are the ones I did buy recently, within the last year or two, from Dollar Tree. So they've got a 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, and a 4 and a 4.5. So I'm definitely going to keep these ones. I'm just going to put them back in here. Kind of like what I did with the paintbrushes. I took all the paintbrushes off the other day. I didn't show myself doing it, but I will bring the paintbrushes down. But I have another one of these for paintbrushes, and it was just so full that I had when you get like 4 or 5 paintbrushes trying to fit in here, but you just kind of like using the handles of the paintbrushes to hold other paintbrushes in place. You've got too many. So I'm just going to put all these crochet crochet hooks will fit. I don't know. I had this one. There's only one space that this fat one fits. And then these other ones, you can just kind of go around here. Just do every other one. Like that. I can just stick these 4 in the same slot, and then I'll take these ones out of the package. I'll put them up. These ones here will not fit, you know, in here, so I'm going to put these in a little sewing kit here. I think they just kind of look cute just sitting in here. As long as it doesn't, as long as I can still shut it. Yes, I can. There we go. So that's what I've been working on, and I'm just gonna, now this stuff here is mostly done. I mean, I still have stuff just kind of spread out because I don't have containers for all this stuff. And then I had these, oh, if I can just reach a little bit further. I have like 5 or 6 of these little things, and I was gonna get rid of them. But I decided I would keep them because I don't know how many pencil cases I have, but these work for holding other things. And then while I was dumping everything out, I have a whole bunch of paper clips and a whole bunch of safety pins. And this just saves me from having a pile of these just on the floor. So actually, I think I might just keep these in here. These take up like no room, and you know, you can see exactly what's in them. Now I might want to put the safety pins in more of a hard container, just because some of the pins were open and they have pricked me through the bag when I stepped down on it. But that was just a way to get them, you know, out of my way for now. Like I said, these just kind of slip in any little box or drawer. So I'm just gonna continue doing all this, and you know, just. And then then my next job will be the garage. So that's going to be more fun than this. This stuff here is just a pain because I've been going through this stuff for months. Going through the garage is going to be the stuff I haven't seen for like years. You know, like over 2 years. A lot of that stuff was never used or packed up. So this is the boring stuff. This is the stuff I see all the time when I'm down here looking for art supplies or just doing the house. These are... You know, so next week or so when I get to the garage, that's going to be more fun. But I got to get through all this first. So I'll be back when I've got more done. Yeah, I had to get my way to the paint brushes, but here we go. Every paint brush has its own slot. I think there's only 2 or 3 that I've got 2 in. And that's just because these ones are so thin. And I just, you know, got a couple more paint brushes than there are slots. But for the most part, it's like every paint brush. I'm just making sure these little gray ones, yeah, it's just some of these gray ones here are doubled. But all the other ones, the big ones, they're all single. So it looks so much better. So much easier for me to find the different paint brushes for the sizes. Now, I was trying to sort these out by their size and also the color of the bristle, but then I just kind of said, I'm not doing that today. As long as they're on there and each one has its own little spot, that's good enough. Because if I do have another brand new pack of paintbrushes, so if I put them on there, everything's going to be doubled up anyway. So I might as well just leave it like that. And then once you start using the paintbrushes and they get moved, and there's no point in trying to have a slot for every single one in a very specific pattern, because it's impossible to keep paintbrushes that well organized. Right, so I also have all of this fully cleared out. So I just moved, it was just a gray tote of kids' toys, the laundry basket of mostly just pictures and wall hangings, and then these 2 bins here of just mostly glass jars and other just seasonal home decor. Oh, and the other black bin over there is also, again, just more seasonal home decor, glass jars, things like that, you know, I'm going to go through and decide if, you know, I'm keeping or not, if they fit. some of those jars, I don't know if they're going to fit on those floating shelves. So I just have to see the, the width of everything. And yeah, so I guess a lot of that stuff's going. And then I just have some games and puzzles that are over here. But yeah, there's like not really anything on these shelves to really, take off and to do too much with at the moment. I am curious what's in this Monopoly bucket though. Oh, just some material. It was all folded and, cut and ready to make the quilt. Okay, that was I was going to make a little Bible cover. And so I've got all the pieces are all in there ready to stitch. So, and then I just have, bookshelf. So I've got a bag of little tiny gift boxes. And each one of these boxes had a piece of jewelry from my husband. So that's why I am keeping all the boxes. Mostly rings, maybe earrings. And then just some kids' books. Whoops. I can just get them to sit up here on the shelf nicely. And then some posters. Well, to see what they are. And I'll hang them up upstairs when I get that ready. My books. Oh, got a couple kids' movies. VeggieTale. I'm keeping the VeggieTale movies. I'm going to go through. Any duplicates I will get rid of, but there's more in the garage. And this is just more books. There's nothing really on here that's, can't stay. Same with here. This is just more books, although this one I'll just stick up on the shelf above it. Some more books. I'll just move up there. Just trying to see what is on this bottom shelf here. So this is the thing for my sewing machine, whatever it's called, arm, I think, whatever. And what is this? Oh, this is my trim and scoreboard. I haven't even had a chance to use this yet. Can't wait to do paper crafts, and I can actually do some really nice ones. I got this for Christmas, so it's supposed to make, photo gallery kit. So you're supposed to be able to make, is it three? Yeah, 3 canvas pictures. It works with inkjet printer. I have no idea what printers we have. Then there's this. This I loved when I got this. I've used it once, and I don't know why I've never had one before. I do a lot of card making, and it is impossible when you can't line up the stamps exactly. This makes it easy to do that. So, oops, I'm just going to stick these back on the shelf. And these are just the folder things for my binders. Pine cones, they can just stay there. I'm just going to pull everything off. Oh, there's my Bible. I was looking for this one. Just some books. More books. Books. My computer, my laptop stand, jar of buttons, yeah. Computer stuff, sewing needles, lights, things for Christmas, so that makes the red truck. Oh, they still work. I guess it goes that way. And this one says snowman. Oh, there we go. They still work. And the further away you have it, the bigger they get. I love these. They were really cool to have a few years ago at the other house. Okay. I got this here. It just has all of these instruments, right? These little wooden music box instruments. These ones broke in the move, but the pieces are all here, so it should be easy to fix. Usable interface. And then one of my husband's nephews 3D printed me this for flames. And then the next two, a lot of papers and wires and things. So I'm just going to work on these shelves, and then I want to take this shelf upstairs and get some of my books upstairs. So I will be back when I get this stuff here all done, and I do want to clear off the table and deal with the fabric. So when I get the bookshelves, table, and fabric all, put away, I will be back. Okay, so it's almost 1 o'clock, so I'm going to say it does look like I haven't really done anything. This main area of the basement is now covered in more stuff, but if I go over here, you can see that I got the shelving unit that was over here out of the way. In fact, I now have it sitting over here, and it's the 2 pieces, and I did find some wooden dowels. So I found 2 that will work. So it is held right now with the 2 wooden dowels. It needs a couple more, but it's there. And then I've got this other shelf here that I have cleared off all the books. And I got my 2 sewing machines sitting on here. And then I've got my sewing books and a few other craft books just sitting beside the machines. And then just some baskets and things on the shelf. So this little basket actually has the feet for both my sewing machines. And then she's got this little sewing basket and this tin and this little bucket here were my husband's mom's sewing stuff. So I went through it this morning and I've organized it. So I got all the buttons are now in this jar, and a few important little keepsake type stuff are in these 2. And then I've got my sewing box. I dumped it out so it is completely empty at the moment. And then I was just kind of arranging a few things, not sure if they're going to stay, but just get things out of the off the floor. Like I didn't want her to break, and I didn't want this lamp to break, and I didn't want the clock to break. And so I was just kind of picking a few things up. So, the table is about half cleared off. I still haven't done the fabric, and then I got the books, and I've got the books in a couple different stacks. I'm figuring out I might just keep the cookbooks down here. I think I'll just keep the cookbooks down here, and then any of my books I can take upstairs. And then I've decided that other little white shelf over in that corner, I'm going to take that one upstairs as well. It's just there's no room for the bookshelves at the moment, so that one can just stay in that corner. But so that bookshelf and the other bookshelf is sitting over there, and it's ready to get taken upstairs as well. So I just want to finish, I said this stuff here now just piles of books, and then this is just some other loose stuff that was on the shelves, and that's the pile of sewing stuff from my sewing machine thing. Okay, so I'll go through this and see what's here, and get this stuff put away as to what it is. I got more art supplies and stickers and cutting mat sitting here, so just put that stuff away. Oops, and I found these 3 the wood panel boards that I had used a couple of years ago for a Christmas craft. So I will put these with the art supplies. And then I have the pile of material to deal with. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do this pile of material and finish the clearing off the table. And I'll be back. Alright, it's about 9:30 Friday morning. So this is kind of where I left off last night. I've got all this stuff pulled out. I've got papers over there. I've got my books off the shelf. But if I come over here, those 3 bins those containers are empty. And then these 2 trunks, I was just putting the material in them. So just for now, I think I do like the idea of storing my material in these 2 trunks. Actually, we have a third one too. So I think I'm going to use the storage trunks to hold all my fabrics. That's going to work perfect. Table is basically cleared off. I've got the puzzle, and then that case is full of movies, and then some chocolate molds. I just don't want them broken. And I'll just come over. So I'll just go over here so you can see. I was putting stuff on these shelves just to kind of see how I'd like to stage them, kind of what would fit. I did like the idea of putting my sewing machines on 2 of the shelves. So I definitely have to make another sewing machine cover. And then I was just kind of putting games and puzzles and a few other things on this shelf. And I kind of put my shoes on this shoe rack. It's not the best. I mean, I know it's really for records, but it's what I have for the moment. So my shoes just have to be there for now. So that's just a pile of books and piles of papers I gotta go through. And then I'm gonna work on this shelf. I'm not gonna take down anything that's up on the top shelf. That stuff is fine sitting there. But I'm gonna go through each of these shelves slowly and figure out what's on there, what I'm gonna keep, what I'm gonna get rid of. So that's what I'm working on. Although I'm not gonna do this shelf, that's my next thing. But right now I wanna focus on this stuff here. Like I said, if they're books, they're going upstairs. My scrapbook paper is going upstairs. And then that's just a big pile of papers I dumped out of another box. And I said most of it is just recycling papers or my personal stuff. And there's not really too much left to go through. So this is what I'm going to work on today, is this stuff. And then I've got those few boxes of home decor, which I will get to. I'm hoping I can get this done today. So that is what I'm working with. And I still have like 3 boxes over there that are full of stuff for donations out on my driveway. I was out there a little bit ago, and I'm down to like half a box of stuff is all that's left sitting on my driveway from everything I was taking out all this past week. So that's good to know. So yeah, I'll be back as I get more of this stuff put away. Actually, I'll just show over here. Now that I got the shoes kind of picked up, I've got this space. I mean, it's other than just, you know, my purses and still sitting there, which I have to figure out how to hang up. But that corner is almost empty now. And again, that's all just bedding. And when I'm able to get to it, that stuff is either garage sale or donation. There's very little of that stuff that I'm gonna keep. These 2 bags here of Christmas and seasonal decor, I'm gonna take out to the garage. And starting, as I said, like, I want to start the garage tomorrow for sure. Monday I'll be working on the garage. So these 2 bags will be up in the garage. And when I go through the seasonal decor, I will decide then how much of one item do I have. I'm going to say I see a lot of pumpkins, and I know I've got 1 or 2 containers of pumpkins in the garage. I'm not keeping them all. But, you know, it's like you buy them slowly and everything kind of just stacks up. You can't get to them, so then you just buy new ones. So that is what I'm working with. Like I said, there's not really a lot left to go through. It still feels like a lot of stuff, but it's, you know, as I'm looking at this, the amount of stuff I've gone through. I mean, these bins, or these clear rolling carts, most of these drawers are like less than half full. If there are some that have a little bit extra items, it's because I was a few items that I needed to get out of my way, and I was putting extra things in the drawers just to get things off the floor. But other than that, yeah, there's not really, I don't really have a lot of stuff anymore. I mean, I still know it's a lot, but compared to what I had, I can really tell how much stuff I've really gotten rid of. So I'll be back as I, you know, said, as I get more of this stuff gone through and organized. Okay, so it's almost 11:30, so almost 2 hours of working down here, and all I have said, if I don't think I made any improvements, I just have to go upstairs for about 5 minutes. I just run upstairs to take some stuff out to the recycling, and I come back down, and yeah, I'm just about finished. So like I said, so the 2 trunks are full of material. I've got the 2 containers of personal papers. That bag there is tissue paper, and then I've got all my books and scrapbook paper, and a couple little baskets with some small things. Boxes of candles, more material, and I'm not touching the shelf today. I did clear out, I know what's on each shelf. I'm not doing the shelves today. Again, all my ribbon and string, and I found some other items that I didn't know where to put, so I just threw them on top of there. All this extra loose things here, these containers actually will be going upstairs. What am I stepping on? Yeah, the containers will be going upstairs onto the shelves upstairs. That white shelf is empty, and I'm going to take that one upstairs as well. That little purple basket just has batteries in it. Then these 3 tubs here, one is tape, one is glue, and the bottom filing cabinet is personal papers. Then there are 3 cardboard boxes, all stuff I'll be taking out to my driveway. Then I've got the container of pictures and other things, a box of toys. And then these two little carts, I have my hair accessories and other, at-home spa type stuff. That box is toys, so I gotta go through that. Then I just have these boxes here of home decor. And I think that's all I have left to go through. It's just these, I don't know, I think there's about 6 or 7 of these tiny little boxes sitting here. 4, 5, 6, 7, oh, it's 8. 8 little boxes sitting there to finish going through. And then I do have the yellow crate, and there's another box under it. Those are both just books, so those will be going upstairs. So, like I said, I'm almost done today. And when I'm finished today, I think my basement is like, I consider this finished. I mean, I'm not doing this big thing where I'm trying to stop myself from doing it, where I'm putting each little item, grouping small little items. Right now, I'm just doing just general categories, I guess. But yeah, I'm almost done. Like I said, it's been like another 2 hours this morning, and it just feels like it's not getting done. And then, you just look and you can see, I can see my whole basement floor. I can count how many tiles there are that run across my floor. Haven't seen that for a while. So I'm just gonna finish up these last few boxes of home decor, and I think then my basement should be finally finished. Right, so standing by the stairs, you can see that I've emptied this whole corner out. That is a stack of 3 empty boxes. I've got these 3 boxes here I'm going to take out to the driveway. I haven't done that yet. I said I was going to, but I said I just might as well just go through everything and then put the stuff out only at once. That gray bin has personal papers and toys. I'm not touching that one today. Same with the filing cabinet. It's just personal papers. I'm not going to touch it today. Those 3 boxes along there are full of glass jars and canning stuff. I'm going to go through it when I'm going to get into the pantry and go through all my items and see what canisters I want to keep and which of these jars, canning jars I want to keep. And then I've got a pile of pictures there, so I guess it's almost time to hang up my pictures. This little bin here with the rainbow sequence is toys. Then I've got all these other bins here. There's 2 are books, so the cardboard box and the yellow container books. This one here that my dog is interested in is full of pet toys, and she keeps trying to pull the cat toys out. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 little containers of home decor and art supplies that I just don't have a space to put at the moment. So yeah, this is the last box to go through, and I am done. So this is my last box to go through. I'll take those out to the driveway, and then I've got all those empty boxes and bags and stuff to deal with. And then I do have 3 container things. I'll go over here. This bag here, and I've got 2 more full of seasonal decor, so I gotta take those up to the garage. And then this whole stack here is just empty containers and bags, so I will just quickly go through this and make sure there isn't anything in the containers. I see a few like juice jugs sitting there, so like I said, I'll have to go through. And same with the bags, I gotta double check that there's nothing actually in this bag. I think there is stuff in, what do I see? Oh, my shoe holder, whatever it's called, over the door shoe rack, and then the ones that hold my purses are also in this bag. And then I got all these baskets to go through as well and figure out what I'm going to keep. What the baskets I'm actually going to sell at my garage sale. And then then it's just dealing with my purses under the stairs, and then just this pile of this other bedding. So I'm just going to do the last box, and then see, what time is it? It is almost 1 o'clock. So it's taken me, quite a few hours today to do this, but I can really tell a difference today. So I'll be back when I get all of this stuff gone through and these boxes and everything cleared out of here. Alright, so what I just quickly showed, I couldn't really talk, there was people outside, was just the last of the stuff that I have outside for donations, and then that huge pile of cardboard boxes that both me and my husband have been emptying this week. I couldn't tell you which ones were from down here and which ones were from the garage. They all just got piled up. So I'm just back down here. Everything is done. So I was just going through looking at all the empty boxes and bags that I have cleared out, and I will count them in a second. But so that's just glass canning jars, and then that is all my baskets, and then my pictures and mirrors. And this is what I'd seen. Some of the containers I'll store in my pantry. So it's just the juice jugs and some Christmas Tupperware type stuff. But here's these large containers. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 large ones. And the stack has 4 of these smaller ones. A laundry basket, crates, this crate, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more baskets. This one, and another 3 here, and then all these little tiny ones. So each small bag or box really does add up. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 of those. I'm just going to recount everything in total. So it's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Can't forget the laundry basket. 6, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Was there 2 in there? No, that is. It's just 38 of those. I don't know how many actual cardboard boxes anymore. And I don't know how many bags, but these are the last bags I have down here. So this one here, it's half empty now. So this side just has for my shoes and my purses. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 other bags. And these are like these ones here that hold, you know, your comforter set. They're quite large. And these were just all the ones from the bedding. And there's a couple of these small ones. But it's every bag and every box does make a huge difference. I'm still stepping on little things. So there we go. I am done my basement. I can't believe it's taken me this long to get it done. Like I said, I'm just going to take the containers and put them, not sure where. I'm just going to leave my baskets along there because I'm get ready for a garage sale and I still have to deal with this stuff. So I will do this tomorrow, but I'm not going to film myself doing it. It's just going to be whenever. Just going through and seeing what's keep, what's garage sale, that type of stuff. So I think I am done. It is, 1:30 something. I couldn't quite read my clock. 1:30, almost 1:40. So like I said, that I started around 9-ish this morning, 9:30, something like that. I don't remember. It's been just another long day just down here. It's been a long, quite a few days just getting this done. I am done. Can't believe it. But again, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who subscribes to my channels and watches my videos. And I will see you in the next ones.